I'm Lauren from Blush Girl Salon, and today I'm sharing with you my formula to create a gorgeous copper on a beautiful blonde. So I'm just sharing my technique and my formula for that. I don't really think I have anything else to say today. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for all your positive feedback and comments. It's really helpful and encouraging. And yeah, I'm going to keep trying different things with our videos in the next couple of weeks when we get a chance. So keep watching, and yeah, thank you. So I'm so excited about today. Are you still keen for the copper? Because if you don't want to do copper, I'm more than happy to just make you a gorgeous blonde.
I think I'm still keen. Yeah, I've been blonde my whole life.
Have you? Yeah.
Well, it'll be a big change, but I think a good one.
I think it will really suit you. It's really on trend. Not that anyone cares about that, but it is. It's really it's quite popular at the moment. And I will never recommend it to anyone unless I think it's going to work. I think it will look really nice on you. And the good thing is we'll still make you like a gorgeous blonde underneath, so I'll do beautiful foil work. And we'll just do the copper as the toner. That's always the best way to start. You can do coppers as like a permanent all over colour, but then it sort of creates issues down the track when you decide you don't want it. It's quite a big process to get it out of your hair. Sometimes it'll just fade out and it'll be all pretty easy. But I think starting with it as the toner is the best way. The only thing with that is that it probably will only last you about 3 weeks, and then it will come back to your blonde.
Okay.
But it's a really simple thing to top up as well. So I guess it's just a safe way to do it, because if you hated it, you could just wash it a few times and it will soften out really quickly. If you love it, you can come back into the salon and it will take 30 minutes to pop the toner back in and get it back to what it was like when you leave today. So I think that's a really safe and good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so what I'll do with your hair, I think, because it looks, do you like having it kind of balayaged?
Yeah, that's how I've had it.
Yeah, so I'll refresh your balayage and then I'll put the copper over the top.
Okay, sounds good.
Although, we could do the roots if you want. What do you think? Do you want to have, do you want to have it, are you like to the roots? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah.
I was thinking
do you think to the roots as well?
Make it seem...
Yeah, really different.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Exciting. Now let's confirm. I'll probably talk to you about this again after, but I was just thinking you should confirm the tone, like what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I thought that the last one I sent you, I thought that one was really good. Let me just get it. Where are you? There you are. All right. So I guess that was more balayage, that one.
Yeah.
But then if we look, I think this is the one. So this is quite bold.
I absolutely love that one.
Yeah? Is that what we're going to go for?
I reckon.
Yeah.
You think it will suit
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah, I just screenshotted someone.
Did you? Yeah, show me what you got.
To me, and
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Oh,
yeah, I did that
I
one.
love that so much.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if that's similar.
It's very similar. Yeah, so it's quite bold.
It is very bold.
Yeah, so just prepare yourself for that. I always tell people, you know, at the end it will be a bit of a shock, and it does take a little bit to adjust. So usually you'll be like, whoa, and then like after 30 minutes you're like, oh yeah, I really love it. So just be prepared for that.
It's okay, yeah.
Cool. All right, love that. I'm excited. Yay, I'm gonna show you. So we've got, I'm just gonna show the inspo. Okay, here's one. It's quite a strong copper. And the other inspo was Taylor, can you see? Yeah, isn't it? Cool. So I'm going to do full head of foils. I'm going to do it to the roots. That way when it fades out, it will still feel like a beautiful color. And yeah, we're going for something quite bold today, which is exciting. I'm gonna get started. So the section pattern that I'm going to use is the same as my modern foil placement. So if you want to go and see that in detail, go and watch that video. Probably just going to do my weave a little bit thicker. I'm just starting with my powder and 10 volt at the back, and then I'll move to 20 volt at the front. And oh, that's right, and I am just going to bunch my foils around the hairline a little bit, just so I create a little bit more brightness at the front. I think that would be really nice. I'm just going to, after each section, I'm just going to do a little bit of tipping out. So as you can see, the hair's already super blonde, but I do just want some bits to really pop at the bottom. So I'm just using a 1.5% just to brighten and refresh. Usually I would never pick up a chunk of hair like that and tip it out, because I just think you just make lots of gold bands in the hair and it's just not good. But because it's already previously lightened and it's very light naturally as well, I am just going to pick it up like that. So occasionally you can get away with doing it like this. But I don't recommend it for anyone with dark hair, and I don't recommend it for anyone who doesn't already have pre-lightened ends. So this is just a bit of a refresher, a brightener, I should say. I just wanted to show when I'm tipping out like this, I will never go above the line that's already there, because then I'm moving into hair that isn't lightened. So if I'm putting my 1% here, it's actually just going to create gold because it's not high enough to lift hair that's not already lightened. And what will happen is the foils from here will actually, because they're a nice fine weave, will come down and they will diffuse this hair here, and they will blend in with the tip out, and then you'll have a beautiful blended colour at the top and a strong bit of blonde at the bottom, or copper. Just preparing to tone now. Basically, I would call this a colour melt toner. That's what we'd call it in the salon. That's when we are doing a nice like fade from darker to lighter, and is when we're generally bringing our client back to the chair and putting the toner on at the chair and leaving it on a little bit longer. So yeah, we call it a colour melt toner. I just wanted to show you pre-tone. So as you can see, lovely blonde colour. We've taken care of the roots up here, but we've also got a little bit of strength in the bottom as well. So slightly lighter, which will mean that we'll get a really nice result with the colour melt toner. We wanted it a little bit stronger than pastel, so I've gone with a 6-3-4, 6-4, 6-8, and a little bit of straight 6 on the roots. I always like drop it down a level when I'm doing my root colour, because otherwise you get root glow. And then on my ends I'm using the exact same thing, but just in a level 7. So 7-3-4, 7-4, 7-8, and no base. So yeah. Actually, and I did do a little bit of the copper additive as well, and Corustor for my ends. So I'll get started. Vivids are tricky, and I always prepare myself to have to do a second application because there's just so many things with a vivid. Like you can sometimes you'll get too glowy at the roots, or you know, you won't have a good like even coverage all through. It might be too bright, not bright enough, too pastel. There's just so many variables, and I just always prepare myself and my client. We might have to reapply this to get it 100% right. As you can see as well with copper, especially in the O&M, it always looks quite dark and purpley. So it's so tempting to keep checking it or like rinse it off early, but I've really learned, really only in the last 2 years, to just put a timer on and walk away and leave it and just trust the process, let it do its thing. Because if you rinse it off too early, then it's usually not strong enough. So yeah, I'm on my 3rd application now, but I want this to be right, and I'm not 100% happy. You can see it's such a pretty like peachy color, but we really wanted it to be just a little bit deeper, and then there's some areas around the front where it's a little bit patchy. So I've dried off a little bit. I'm not happy. I'm doing another application again, and I just wanted to show you this because this is the reality of what happens in the salon. I just wanted to do a little sum up because today was crazy. And it was just one of those moments where it just wasn't quite right every time. And I think it's really good to keep showing those sort of things because it is like a real salon situation where I'm, you know, having a client and I'm trying to create the color that they can see in their head, and that, you know, the inspiration picture that they've showed me. So instead of just ignoring the fact that it wasn't right, I just applied it until I kept going until I got it right. And even at the end, I still think it looked amazing and it was beautiful, but my client felt a little bit pinky. So a couple of things, I probably should have thought it through more at the start with the consult, but I was just excited to do the color. I'm just trying to reflect on the things that I did wrong. So yeah, I was really excited about the color, and I almost feel like I could have just done that as a semi color and not even done the foil work. But I always think about the client and when it rinses out, and I really didn't want to give her anything that was permanent or gave her a line, even though it was with a semi. I still feel like that would happen because her natural level was a level 8. So in my mind, I'm like, should I have just done it as a semi on dry hair? That could have been better. The other thing is when I was toning, I should have just left it on a little bit longer because it just needed depth. And sometimes, I don't know if you find this, but when you're working with a natural level 8, it doesn't like to go darker. And I just felt, I don't know if there's something going on with products she might be using, a build up on the hair. It's just like the color wasn't taking, even though I was using a level 6, it still wasn't going dark. It was still very pastel. So I think there could have been a bit of a barrier on the hair, but also I should have just left it on for longer. But it's just hard. Also with copper, it looks so dark and then it washes off and it's like barely there. So yeah, this was tricky today, but my thought of the day is that just because you have to reapply a color doesn't mean that you suck, and it's normal, and it's really, really important to just like allow yourself or just be okay with that right from the start, and just address it really quickly. It's not right, let's do it again. And I think it's really easy to get really overwhelmed, be like, oh my god, I didn't get it right. You know, I'm so bad, I've done everything wrong. But all you need to do is just stop, go back to the basin and just put it on again, and eventually you will get there. The one thing I would say is obviously that's not always practical for a salon situation, and I understand that. Today I had time to do that. If I had a busy schedule, I wouldn't have been able to, but the way I would have handled it is I would have done one reapplication, probably ran a little bit late, but at least I've done a second application. And if I still wasn't happy, as long as the color was good and the client felt comfortable, I would say, we're not quite there, but I'm going to need you to come back. So I'm just gonna finish this off today, and then I will make you an appointment to come back in a week or 2 weeks time so that I can keep working on this color. That's how I would handle it. I would never just let them leave and not acknowledge the fact that the color wasn't quite right yet. So I just wanted to share that. I thought it might be helpful, and yeah, I think we'll keep sharing these videos. I think it's good to show the truth because we all know this is what happens, and I just find personally copper is one of those colors for me which just needs tweaking. So yeah, anyway, bye. One more piece of advice, or one more thought of this is my second thought of the day. Don't wear clothes that you're worried about ruining, because I had to wear my pink pants today. Can you see them? I didn't actually get any color on them, but literally the entire time in the back of my mind, I was just thinking, please God, do not get color on these pants. And that is really distracting. So don't do that to yourself. Don't wear your good clothes. I just want to look nice for you guys. So